Hi, good afternoon, Srijata. How are you?
Hey Janet, good afternoon. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Been very, very busy, but it's really a pleasure to have you with us this afternoon. And thank you for taking your time to share with us your experience and insights.
My pleasure, totally my pleasure. Whenever I talk to you, I feel so energized, calm, and that's the beauty of you.
I don't know about that though. Okay, so for those who just joined us actually on the session, we have Miss Srijata Bhatnagar from India, and she's here today to share her experiences of how she overcame her depression when she first started her business venture, and how she's taken on steps actually to build herself up and her brand to become an international speaker, as well as she's also the author of Setback Leadership. And currently, she's doing quite a lot of things, which I'm quite excited to ask her about, for her to share her experiences of what she has done to ensure that she prepare herself well for this aftermath of COVID-19. So, thanks again, Surijata, for taking your time to be on this platform with us.
My pleasure, totally.
So now, Sirijata, it's been since 1 month that we recorded, or more than that, for this particular session. So, what has changed for you thus far since then?
Uh, Not much has changed, honestly. In India right now, we are a little eased out in terms of lockdown. So that has changed. But in my mind, nothing much has changed because I'm not taking the risk of going out right now because in India, the curve is increasing. It's not reducing. It's not flattened out as yet. So though the lockdown has eased out, I don't plan to go out much. So that way, I'm still happy to kind of stay put inside home. However, ready to share my thoughts, share my my learnings and other things, and help others sitting at my home throughout the world. What I'm doing with you right now, Janet.
Thank you. So now the thing is, with these actually COVID-19 crisis, both of us came from corporate, and a lot of people will be thinking about whether is it the time for them to step out, or if they may not have a choice, they may be forced out of a job. So what would be your tips before someone actually really embarks on their entrepreneurial journey?
I would say that, see, I'm seeing two different kinds of people right now, as the situation, in the current situation, in the current changing times. One set of people who have become kind of numb. They don't know what to do, and they just completely getting absorbed in the entire negativity that is there around them. And they're totally in a position of inaction. On the other hand, I'm also seeing people who are taking actions in all directions. They're doing webinars after webinars after webinars, and in different subjects and in different directions and different different modes for different kinds of people, for different kind of geographies and things like that. There are people who are starting a business because they have probably either lost their job, or they don't know what lies ahead of them, and they quickly want to take action. Neither of this is actually good. Why do I say that? Because in both cases, we are not allowing our mind to become aware and then take an action. For entrepreneurship, also, I would say do not take action in a haste. Right now, the situation is such that it's a perfect situation for anybody to take a hasty decision. It's the perfect setting for it. Hence, so say for example, if you think like, okay, I want to become an entrepreneur, don't go ahead and start taking action from tomorrow. Give it some time. Think through the challenges that might come up in your way. Think through what exactly are you going to do? Why are you going to do that? And for whom are you going to do that? Answer yourself those questions. It's important to ask those 5 W's and 1 H when you are going to start a new venture. Start with why, as Simon Sinek says. And I think that what would be my suggestion, that do not take any action in a haste.
Right. So we still have 4 minutes. I'm sharing. Kalai is a good friend, so he's online today as well. So he agrees with you on the energy front. I think it's so long as we are doing something that we love, and I see that equally in you as well, Srijata. So that's why you love you also expound a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now the next thing, it's now if someone has really thought through and say, "Hey, I would really want to start something on my own." So, what would be some tips that you would like to give the person before they actually start?
So first up, I would say that create a business plan. Okay. If not a business plan, at least create a business canvas. If you don't know what is a business canvas is all about, all you have to do is Google search it. Okay. And it's like a blueprint of your business. What product are you in? For whom is it? Why is that product? What target audience? Who is the suppliers? Who are the buyers? How are you going to make the money available for this business? How are you going to do the working capital churning? And all of it can be made in one sheet. That's what is a business model canvas. Search for business model canvas. Make that. And secondly, when you are getting into a business, make sure that your business has the ability to go online quickly, because in current situation, high touch or high contact business may not be a good idea. You will lose hope very, very quickly. So hence, create something or start something that is less touch, low contact, or no contact for that matter, and create products and services around that. Make sure it has a strong online presence as well. So that's my basics. Second thing that I would say is that do a quick market study about whatever you're going to start with. And for today's market study, you really don't need to go physical. You don't need to go to door to do those studies. All you need is a survey to be sent out to your potential client list and see how are they receiving it, how are they receptive about a particular topic or a service. And based on that, take actions. Just don't start because you feel like starting something.
That's great. So now the other thing would be, I think you in the episode premiere itself, you did share about some mistakes that you made being an entrepreneur. So I will not actually go into that because then the cat will be out of the bag. But looking back, right, if you were to take those years back, would you have actually started the first business venture?
Yes, I would have still started the first venture, and I still think it had a great potential. It's because of my bad decisions or money related decisions, especially how do you spend your capital, where to spend your capital, what is the ROI, return on investment on that, and all of that. I really didn't know about all of it. I did it because I felt like it will be a good one. So there was no thought process, there was no study behind it when I did those expenses or invested those monies in the wrong places, right? So if you ask me today, I would definitely go back and start it once again, and this time around, obviously I wouldn't do those mistakes again.
Great, thanks. So we are exactly at 3:30 on the dot. So Srijata, I'm going to just hide you for a little while and we'll play the episode premiere and we'll get back to you on further questions.
Sure.
Thank you. Hi, welcome to the Leadership During Crisis Online Summit series. Thank you for taking your time to watch these episodes. Please remember to subscribe at our YouTube channel, follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook under Leadership During Crisis.
What's your focus? Is it inward
or is it outward?
It was a fashion and accessory show by the biggest industry bodies. And I got an invite for that. And that's when I was like going weak on my knees and was wondering, what do I gonna wear? What am I going to look like? How am I going to present myself, etc., etc.
Why or what led to the crisis in your situation?
I've been through multiple crises and challenging times in life, but then the one that I'm going to share here is about my business crisis. I was in corporate world for about 10 years before I got into entrepreneurship, and I am a first generation entrepreneur, and that was my first business on my own. So you can imagine the kind of excitement and the kind of exuberance you show whenever you start your first business. But then in that fit of excitement, in that space where you're coming from doing the best you can, you also tend to take a lot of wrong decisions. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was a first generation entrepreneur, didn't know the nitty-gritties of running a business pretty well. And that was the first time I was launching my company. And instead of focusing on the right things that give you revenues, just to give you an example, instead of focusing on our online platform, which needed to work, we focused on getting a swanky office. Like that, there were multiple levels of wrong decisions that were taken, not because we didn't want to take the right decisions, but primarily because we didn't know that that was wrong decision. And that's how I got into the crisis and eventually had to shut down the company. And while we shut down the company, we faced a huge amount of monetary loss. So that is the essence as well as the effect of the crisis, I would say.
So now, as a successful corporate individual, right, like you said, you're so excited in creating that new business. So with this sudden failure from that perspective, how do you actually then get up? It can be a real dent in our confidence and our self-worth, right?
Yes, honestly, it was a big dent on my confidence. It was a big dent in my financial situation. It was a big dent in the relationships that I was in, because my family kept telling me that you shouldn't get into business. That's not your thing. And many more things. It actually led me to depression. And I was clinically treated for some time. I was taking counseling sessions from my counselors and all of that. So yes, it is a big dent, and that's normal. People out there who are listening, I must tell you this, that when you're going through entrepreneurial stress or challenges, that's normal. You're not alone. You're not sitting in your cocoon alone. There are so many like you who are going through the exact same situation. Trick lies in how quickly can you get up from this, and how can you really get up from this. So let me share what I did. So first things first, of course, while I was going through the depression treatment and I was talking to my counselor, and first thing she suggested is get a mentor. Get somebody who knows business well and who can listen to you, who can understand your point of view, and who can give you the pragmatic solution or pragmatic suggestions which can take you to the next level. Right? Nobody takes bad decisions knowingly. Nobody wants to lose money knowingly. Nobody wants to go through depression knowingly. Keep it, in the sides. Don't talk about it. Just focus on what can solve your problem. So one way of doing it is hiring a coach or a mentor. So once I hired my first coach and started working with him, I realized that I need coaches for other areas of my life. And then I got into getting coached by multiple other people. Even today, I have many mentors and many coaches whom I learn from. That is one thing that you should do. You should find an anchor who can really turn you towards the direction which is most productive and efficient for you.
At that point in time, right? Because some people may not necessarily accept the thing that I'm a total failure. I don't want to go back into business. It may not be so positive to say, okay, I'll hire a coach, I'll hire a mentor. What would be your advice? How do you get to the right kind of mindset before you can even start to receive coaching and mentoring?
I would say for a person who's thinking I'm a total failure and I cannot go back to where I came from, don't go back to where you came from, but go somewhere. Go some other direction. Even if you don't want to go back where you came from, see, you cannot go back to where you came from anyway. You have to move forward, right? But the point is, when you go forward, you have a choice whether you want to go forward for your growth or staying where you are, which will actually take you backward in your growth. It won't take you forward in your growth. So that's one thing. And Secondly, I would say is there has to be a mindset change in the person where they're thinking from a solution mindset. Yes, there is a problem. I agree there is a problem. Instead of asking why am I the one who's a victim of this particular problem, can we think of what can I do to come out of this problem and still grow myself? So the moment you change that shift in the mind, that instead of asking why me and getting into a victim zone, when you get into a survival zone, automatically you learn to take actions that takes you towards your forward growth.
So, what are your solutions while working at home during the lockdown period for COVID-19, and what are your preparations for what the opportunities may come later on?
So, okay, see, before the lockdown period, I was scheduled to speak in at least 3-4 physical events as a speaker, and all of them got cancelled or postponed. There's no prizes for guessing why they got postponed or cancelled. But what I realized is that I need to stay afloat. I need to stay in the mind of our audiences and in the mind of our clients. So that's the most important thing. Now, when you don't have a physical appearance, what is the other way can you be available in their mind space? And to answer that, what I've done is I have started a video series. And this is small bite-sized videos which talks about different how-to situations, how to manage your small businesses in this crisis, how to manage employee engagement in this crisis, how to manage household chores along with work in this crisis, and so on and so forth. So that's one way of doing it. Second thing that I'm doing is I am creating an online course, which I'm creating as we speak. So it will be up and live probably in a month's time for anybody from all over the world to access it. Third thing that I'm doing is I'm appearing in a lot of online summits or digital summits or virtual summits as we call it. One happens to be with you, Janet. Thank you for calling me for that.
No problem.
So that's another thing that I am doing. And apart from that, I'm also appearing in a few podcasts. So these are some of the things that I have pivoted my business to, from physical appearances in events to online appearances in events, to keep my business afloat. I am learning a lot of new skills. So I am upskilling myself. Let's put it that way. Yesterday, I was there in a very exclusive video boot camp, which happened online, by the way, organized by Professional Speakers Association India. And about 50, 60 of us got together to learn about specific techniques to make videos better. Eventually, I believe that by the time we're out of this situation, I will be at a space where I don't have to look back. So sharpen your axe when you are in your downtime, so that when the time is out, you're ready for the big chop.
That's great. Now, I'm also speaking to a lot of the speakers and trainers, but a lot of them are pretty stuck in terms of like video editing, how to do a podcast, how to do an online course. Did you have any preparation or learning beforehand, before COVID-19? That's why it seems like you're moving ahead so fast.
No, I didn't have any learning. I was the last person to do videos. In fact, for almost 2 years, I've been procrastinating to do videos. I had not done it. And I always thought, how am I looking? How is the light on my face? Am I being useful? And am I looking in the camera, or I'm looking somewhere else, and so on and so forth? Am I making sense? Am I bringing out value, etc., etc., etc.? So there were so many questions that pulled me down. I've never done those videos before. But what I did is that I quickly checked out with a few of my pro friends, asking them the questions that, okay, if I want to do this way, then what do I do? If I want to do that way, how do I do? And quickly grabbed those tips and tricks. And I thought, okay, let me start. And that's how I started the first one. And now, after doing about 10, 15 video shots, I mean, I've not put them up yet, all of them yet online, but I've shot about 10, 15 videos now. And after shooting them, now I have kind of got a hang of, okay, what works, what doesn't work, what lighting, what setting, what colors of dresses, etc., etc. So yes, I learned it fast, and I learned it only after the COVID situation came out. Regarding online course, again, I'm a rookie. I've never done online course. This is the first time I will be doing an online course. In fact, a few of us from the Professional Speakers Association India joined hands together to help each other create and launch our online courses. So what it did is it provided that cushioning that you miss generally when you're trying to do anything alone, thinking, okay, how am I going to go about it? So my suggestion would be, if you can form a group of people, they don't have to be your mentors. They could be your peers, right? Just form a group with your peers in whatever outcome that you want for yourself, whether you want to write a book, for example, right? And you have an accountability partner or a few friends who are in the same journey of writing books. Then the journey becomes much easier.
Great, great. Thanks for sharing. So you're saying that even if they are not from the speakers or trainers part of it, and suddenly their business, especially if you're looking at some of the F&B and entertainment outlets that has been totally closed down, is to find a support group and move on.
Yes, always find a support group. So you know what, when I was going through a bad time in my earlier entrepreneurship, I was losing complete sense of what I am doing, and I was losing my mind completely, is when I started going for a lot of entrepreneurship events. And you know what realization I had during that time? The first realization that I had is, I am not alone who's in this mess. There are many others, and they might be able to give me some solution. And I don't have to do all the mistakes myself to learn from them. I can learn from others' mistakes as well. And that is a reassuring pat on my back, saying that, okay, yeah, fine, you're going through a challenge, but firstly, you're not alone. That means you're not the dumbest person on the earth. Secondly, is that you have somebody whom you can throw these challenges or through this mindset of yours that is bothering you right now, because they are going through the similar thing and they might give you a solution.
Hi, Srijata.
Back, and I'm surprised we spoke so much that day. Is it?
Yes, that's actually, it was about 30 minutes or 45 minutes. I only managed to put in 10 minutes of what we spoke about.
Ah, amazing, huh?
Yeah. So now, before I switch on some of the comments, I would like to let the guests know that we have Miss Srijata Bhatnagar from India here with us, who just finished the episode premiere. So right now, we will wait for you to key in your questions inside the chat box. So if you're coming in from YouTube using your desktop, please log in into your YouTube account and key in your questions on the right hand side of the screen. If you're coming in from your mobile, then after logging into your YouTube account, key in the questions at the bottom of the screen. So let me share. I think Kalai said, thanks for sharing candidly the difficulties you went through and how you took help to get out of it, because many a times we don't want to take help. Your advice to take help is a good one.
Thank you, Kalai. And I still say that when in doubt, please seek help.
Yes, I think so too. So now I was just wondering, I think before we came online, we were chatting about your online course success. So during that time, you were just preparing for the course, and then you went ahead and actually launched the course. How was the experience for you?
Oh, it was a great experience. It was like as if I was launching a book of mine. How you feel when you first time launch your first book, right? There's a butterfly in your stomach, and you're trying to see how best can you make use of this particular platform, and what kind of best value can you give to your, your enrollees, people who are buying it, or the participants who are buying it. So we did really go well. So it took me a lot of time to plan the entire course and plan the modules and how best can we give the value in the shortest possible times. So that we really worked out, and eventually we did a premiere. We did a premiere of the course, where it was more like a talk show kind of a thing, and we had about quite a few people into the premiere who sat through it, and where I was explaining what the course is about, for whom the course is, and how they can get the best value out of it. So it did go well, really well. We launched it on, I think, 18th of May, if I am correct. And in the last few weeks, the response has been phenomenal. The participants are getting real good value out of it. And it makes me satisfied that, yes, I have been able to put out something that is useful for people.
That's great. Now, I think a lot of times, some of the seminars or webinars that I went is a lot of people put in a lot of effort to create the online course, but then they got totally disheartened because after all the effort, they could not get people to sign up for the course. So if there are trainers or people who are starting to launch their online course right now, what would be your tips in order to at least drive through and get people to sign up in your course?
So let me tell you what I did and how I kind of created that tribe, and how I made sure that there were enough sign-ups happen for the course. So first of all, I first realized that there was a problem. So the course that I have launched is for speaker trainer coaches who are yet to find out their niche area of work, right? And how also my course helps them find that niche, establish that niche, as well as amplify their authority in that niche. So say you want to be a I mean, we have a friend, both of us have a friend, Janet, called Kevin Kotam, and he speaks on something called nomadic mindset.
Yes.
Right? That's a niche. That is, nobody speaks on nomadic mindset. I've not heard of anybody speaking like that. But he does all the work around it to not only have found his niche, but also establish himself as the thought leader in that specific area. So, first of all, it's important to understand, can you really create a unique niche for yourself? Which is what I started working on. So I started putting out video explanations that, what is a niche? Why do a speaker trainer coach needs a niche? And what are the things that they're missing out when they don't have a niche versus they have a niche? So there was a video, small, like bite size, 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long videos that I started doing. I put it in my YouTube as well as on LinkedIn and all other social media channels wherever I'm active. Through that, I found a tribe who wanted to know more about it. So the more they wanted to know about it, the more I shared information. The more I shared information, the more they felt, yes, I need this for myself. And when I launched the course signups, in fact, I remember in the day one itself, I think I got some 10 signups. The only reason I got that, when I analyze it now, is because I could show them there is a need that they have, and there is a value that they might get from this particular course, and like no other. So to people who are launching their course, I would say that look from the participant's point of view. Not look from the point of view of what am I giving. Just look from the point of view of what they are getting. Is this even a problem in their life? Are they able to realize it is a problem? There are many problems in our life. Some we accept, acknowledge, and realize, some we do not. So if it is a problem they do not recognize, then first your job needs to be make them realize that they have a problem. That's most important. Unless they know that they have a problem and they need a solution, they're not going to take the courses.
Right.
In my case, it was kind of in between. Like they knew that they need to have something that differentiates them from the rest of the herd, but they didn't know what is it called. When I kind of related it to their own life, so they came up and they were jumping into joy, saying that yes, we need this because we never have got something like this. So come from a point of view of what they need, the problem that they're facing, and are they even recognizing it? And based on that, create your strategy.
Great.
Now,
yeah. Sorry, thanks for sharing. So I can see that you're really, really passionate about this. So I just wanted to show another question that came up so that you can ask as well. So Kala is asking, what is the one critical thing you would recommend to get out of the emotional pit we all go through even as corporate executives?
Oh, Kala, I love you for this, and I'm giving you a big hug right now. I know we can't give it physically, but virtually it's possible. You see, so, yes, we do go through emotional pit. In fact, I go through emotional pit very, very regularly. One thing that I do is I don't keep myself in that pit for long. Now, what I mean by that is, so earlier, if I would be in an emotional pit where I'm really feeling low about myself, I'm really feeling sad about myself, I would remain there for days together. Now that has changed to probably 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, that's fast.
I didn't do that. Now, how do I do that? What do I do about it? So I know a few things that immediately changes my mood or takes me from zone A, where I'm sitting in the emotional pit, to zone B, where I'm excited, happy, interested about different things. So some of it is one, listening to music that energizes my soul. Okay. Second thing that I do is I sometimes meditate. Third thing that I do is I sleep. If I'm feeling exhausted or tired or emotionally burnt out, I sleep, I just rest. So these are some of the things that kind of energizes me immediately back. Because when I'm up and running after that, I've forgotten about that change. And then when I have moved to a situation when I'm thinking from a solution mindset, that's when I look at the problem pragmatically and then find a solution.
Right. Thanks for your answer. So we have another question coming from Mutukuma. He says, thank you, Srijata, for sharing your experience. Did you change your goals after you failed in the first venture? And how long did it take to identify the new opportunities?
Yeah. So let me give you a quick timeline. 2013 is when I started my first venture, and 2015 I closed it. 2015, first half of 2015, I closed it. So within about 1.5 years, 2 years time, I closed my business. So all of 2015, I was sulking. But while I was sulking, I got an opportunity at that time to go to one of the IIMs. IIM is one of the biggest business schools in India, and they're world known. It's like, I would say, equivalent to, say, Stanford Business School in India. So I got a choice to go there. So I had gone there and I was upskilling myself. So I realized as I was upskilling myself, I was also getting more and more confident to pivot my decisions instead of sitting in that sulking zone. So by end of 2015, I was already creating my business plan for the next business, my second business. And I think Jan or Feb is when I had already had a partner. Jan Feb 2016, I had my partner with me to start actionizing those plans. So to answer your question, it took about probably 6 to 8 months of hibernation, I would call it, before I could jump into the next one. I hope that answers your question, Muthu.
Yes. So Kalai said thank you.
Thank you, Kalai.
Yeah, and Muthu, the other thing is I find exactly like what Srijata said is in between, actually, I had 15 years in metaphysics science, and I was going for a lot of courses like digital marketing, data analytics, and even one on design thinking. And that's where you get to learn and meet new people, learn new things. And that's how a lot of the recent new businesses that I start, how we identify opportunities. And it gives us time to also talk to people and who comes from different perspectives to examine exactly whether the opportunity is a problem, is a need that we are trying to address as well. So that's how I feel that one can identify the questions, the opportunities. And Muthu say thank you, Srijata.
Thank you, Muthu. In fact, I would agree with you, Janet, on this. The opportunity regarding my second business, I found it because I went to IIM.
Mm.
Right. And because I chose to go out there and face the world, even though I was in real emotional as well as financial stress, like I was in total mess at that time. I was just complete mess. If you would have seen me at that time, you would have seen a very different version of Srijata. But still, I chose saying that, okay, no, I need to go out there and I need to meet people, face challenges, go out there, talk to people. Only then probably I'll be able to find a way out of my situation. And I see a lot of people who go through challenges and especially depression, they hide. They really hide because it's terrible for people to go out and meet people when they are going through such mess in their head. And I personally know that feeling. I have been through that feeling. But let me tell you, that is where the resilience, your own resilience, comes into picture. Do you have that strength to, even after so much of mess? Because the world, the secret is the world doesn't know that you are in mess in your head. They are seeing you as normal human being. And all you have to do is go out there and talk to them. And the more you're honest, the faster you will come out with a better opportunity.
Great. Thanks for sharing, Srijata. Now, coming from then another person's perspective, for example, if you see that either your loved one or one of your friends who may be heading down towards depression, how would you actually approach the person without making the person feel defensive about the entire situation?
I would just talk to them. I would just listen to them. I wouldn't even talk. I would just listen to them. So, there are questions that you can ask them which will trigger them to answer, trigger them to share with you. If you ask them, why are you like this? They are not going to share anything.
Yes. So
You
what questions would you ask?
Yes, that's a very, very good question. I was coming to that, Janet. Instead, never ask a why question to people if they are into a tough situation.
Yes.
Why are you like this? Why are you doing this? Or, why can't you do this? These are all accusation questions. And the moment you ask these questions, people will shy away and even become even more close from you. So if you really want them to answer, first thing you have to say is, I see there is a challenge that you're going through. Is there anything that I can help you with? You're already telling them you understand, you're not judging them, and can I really go and help you? That is one way of doing it. If people are not yet opened up for help, second thing that you can is, I see something is different in you. Is there something that is bothering you? That is another thing. Another thing that you can do is, what is that has made a change in you? So instead of a why question, if you ask a what question, or a question where it shows your empathy towards them, then you will get better results.
Thank you for sharing. So we should not ask why questions, we should ask what questions. That's a good tip.
Yes.
So
My question is for ourselves. Why am I doing this? That's
I see. So Srijata, we are 1 minute away from 4. So I'm going to hide you for a little while and share with the audience about your episode, about you and how they can contact you. And then I'll come back to you again.
sure.
Okay, talk to you later.
Sure thing.
So similarly, like earlier on, you can find Srijata's episode on effectiveasianleadership.com. Click on the Leadership During Crisis Summit Series page and scroll down to her page and her episode. Click on Watch Now. And once you click on Watch Now, you will arrive at this page where it shows her video, the recorded episode video. And afterwards, we will be uploading the live episode once it's edited as well. And when you scroll further down, you will see Srijata's background as well as the link to her website, so that if you have any other questions and you'd like to contact her, you can click on the link to contact her. And what we have done, like I mentioned earlier, with 30 episodes, we have actually uploaded it into our learning.corporatetrainerconnect.com platform, where we have basically uploaded other courses on communication, emotional resilience, leadership, communication, and of course, these Leadership During Crisis Summit series. And once you click on it, it's still free, but you can get it in terms of categories, whether is it for personal, overcoming this crisis, or overcoming a personal business crisis, or another category is actually leadership communication and strategies as well. So let me invite Srijata back again. Hi, Srijata.
Hi.
You're back here.
Yes, I am.
So time flies. We are already at 4:01, and I would really like to thank you for taking this Saturday afternoon to share your experience and insights with us.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me and allowing me to share these experiences that I've been through. I hope this will be helpful for people who are watching it and the people who are going to watch it even in the future. All I would say is even if I've been able to impact one person, that matters.
Yes, I think that's the whole idea of this series. It's not really about how many, it's really about the quality and the impact, so long as we can really help people. And I really thank you for sharing generously. So, for this series, because of the opening up of the economy, so the episodes will be premiering every Saturday. So, between 2 to 3 episodes every Saturday, and I'll be sharing again on the timing depending on the guest availability. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.